Let's jump to La Liga because it was also a very interesting weekend. And actually, KlintonCod and I were at the Santiago Bernabeu yesterday. Here's a little bit of the action from what we saw.
How do you feel about the game today?
Very good. I think the pressure went off after we put our first goal.
Definitely very happy.
I feel good.
We're very happy.
It was beautiful.
Amazing.
Who was your star boy today in the game?
Valverde.
Me, Fede Valverde. Mbappé, for sure.
Mbappé.
Kylian Mbappe scored two. Do you think that the two goals is going to help boost his confidence for the coming game?
100%. As a former soccer player myself.
11.
Man said 11. What about you?
8. Ronaldo is a 10 over 10.
Mom, I didn't bring in Cristiano Ronaldo. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, exciting scenes yesterday. Real Madrid really getting the monkey off their back there yesterday, especially the one Kylian Mbappe scoring 2 goals, 1 a penalty as well. Klinton, talk us through it a bit because you were actually in the stadium.
Yeah. I mean, it was a very crazy game. Obviously, the first half, people were kind of like disappointed because it was almost like the Real Madrid from the season since it started was the Real Madrid we were going to get again from the first half, and it was almost like things were just still not working out, even for Kylian Mbappe as well. You know, people were scared. Kylian Mbappe was making some awful mistakes. Forget about the goals for now, right? But there were just some things that just wasn't working. You could see Real Madrid struggling. If Real Betis had like crazy attackers that had sense, Real Madrid would have easily lost the game yesterday, literally from the first half. And I was in the stadium and you could just see people getting frustrated. I was with the other TV guys and you could just see them saying, yeah, there's something wrong. You know, this is just not working. They need to figure something out. And I just felt like that game, it was going to be the first loss for Real Madrid. But I think they went in to the second half, probably at the dressing room. Maybe Ancelotti showed them a gun or something that if they don't come with a win, somebody was going to die. And something just came alive. And listen, I have to give credit to Valverde. Valverde right now is the best player in Real Madrid. Listen, I understand that Kylian Mbappe is a star, but he scored the 2 goals. But, like I said earlier, there are some goals that you see people score and people tend to forget how the assist came, right? That assist from Valverde, I don't know how he was able to think that Kylian Mbappe was going there. And Kylian Mbappe, who is a very great footballer, he has this, listen to me, Kylian Mbappe is great. Kylian Mbappe, arguably the best, yeah? If the opportunity is there, he will take it. The fact that he's playing in the position that he's not been playing for a long time, and you could see him still trying his best, we are still going to give credit to him. I mean, yesterday, Valverde gave him a very good assist. He scored the first goal. Second one came up from a penalty, which Vinicius, whom I give total credit to, everybody thinks Vinicius is some kind of arrogant little boy. Somebody who's always very selfish. He wants to get the goal. He wants to do everything himself. But you could just clearly tell that there's this human in him that's so humble and they're so meek. If you've heard, I wouldn't believe that Mbappe had already scored a goal. This is a penalty. I mean, I'm Vinicius, right? I deserve a goal too. You've scored a goal. But why did he feel like, you know what, I still want to give Mbappe to have a brace in this game? And he did, and Mbappe scored too. And everyone is speaking about Mbappe, and everybody's forgetting about the fact that somebody made that happen. Vinicius won the penalty. He also took the penalty. He gave Valverde, who is an engine. Valverde is the heart. Take away the heart, there's nothing for Real Madrid. I don't understand where this guy's energy comes from. Listen, you need to see this guy. I mean, you probably have seen him in real life play. But you need to see Valverde, 1 minute, he's like, I'm chasing you and I'm tracking you and I'm going to get it. If he's not winning the ball, he's taking it to the... I don't know which energy Valverde... I don't know where it's coming from. Valverde is just a beast. Listen, if there's anybody that deserves 600,000 euros a week in any football club right now, Valverde is a beast. Everybody were like, Mbappe, Vini. This guy called Valverde is literally the man of Real Madrid. He needs to be celebrated. That game yesterday was Valverde for me. I was happy when I was speaking to the fans outside of the stadium and I was asking a few questions about who was the man of the match for the game, and people were like, Mbappe, obviously because he scored 2 goals. I would understand that. He's a star boy that's come from PSG to Real Madrid, and he's been struggling with goals and he's managed to get 2 goals. So why not? You may as well give him the man of the match. But Valverde, easily, he was the man of the match for me. Crazy atmosphere. Obviously, you saw the video. We came out and the fans were super happy when they scored the first goal. When Mbappe scored the first goal, you need to see the reaction of people in the stadium. It was crazy. Like, Mbappe has fans. Mbappe has people. Mbappe has soldiers. If you look at that stadium, everybody came for Mbappe. It's not like they didn't come to. They came to watch Real Madrid, but because they are still waiting for that Mbappe moment. And you could see them supporting this young man. Everybody was just like, Mbappe. And I was happy. Just before I even stopped, something I can give credit to again, to Mbappe. Man, thank God this is, if this was live, I'm sure people would have said, this guy talks too much. But sorry, I was at the game and I feel like I want to outpour everything that went there. Mbappe has just been extremely humble since he's been in Real Madrid. You could tell that man is not talking too much. Man just wants to play. He wants to score. He wants to deliver. He wants to get to the point where he's going to put his name there, where he will be able to bring out his voice. Look at Mbappe in PSG. Mbappe is more important than the president of France. Like, people would literally follow Mbappe rather than follow. Nobody gives a hell about the president. It's just Mbappe. And I'm sure that France would have done everything to keep that young man there. And he was the king in that kingdom. He left from there and he now came to a country where he's probably just going to be part of an empire. He's no longer a king. And he's just been so humble, he's just been so calm, he's just been waiting for his moment. And when the moment came, I was just so happy when I saw Mbappe run to that sideline and did the celebration. I felt so emotional. I was just hoping that his dad was watching, so they would just take the camera to the dad. I just wanted to see the dad's reaction. I know Mbappe. I had very different opinion of Mbappe. I thought he was just some arrogant, big guy in football who is just a spoiled little boy at the same time. But Mbappe in Real Madrid is Mbappe I love, and I just want him to deliver the goals whilst he keeping the same personality. That's what I noticed about Mbappe in Real Madrid so far.
Alex, is there something to say about the fact that, as Klinton mentioned, Betis were not their best, also missing the likes of Isco and Marc Bartra, and the way Madrid played, even when Mbappe scored, they still weren't convincing. This wasn't a scintillating win for Real Madrid. I think the biggest takeaway from this is that Mbappe scored because personally for him, I think he needed to regain his confidence, but the team itself still looks discombobulated. And now there's an international break. Obviously, they still got the win, but the concern isn't quite over yet, is it?
I don't think so fully. I definitely think many of the concerns have been alleviated after yesterday. I think when you look at the performance, yes, to be frank, it probably wasn't the best performance. Betis played well in parts. They put up a good defensive performance. Unfortunately for them, it didn't look like they could buy a goal yesterday. They had a few opportunities, but it just wasn't going right for them. I think the big takeaway from this is obviously Ancelotti would have wanted to stick around with this group and go into a midweek game or a game next weekend and play and keep that momentum going. I think that's always the case with players and managers. And I think with this, the fact that Mbappe scored is the biggest thing. I think, if he hadn't scored, it would have been 4 games, no goals. The pressure continues to mount. There's the headlines. There's the stories you read. It does affect, no matter how little you read social media and no matter how much you try and stay away from social media as a player, it can still affect you. You can still hear it in the background. When you get the ball, you can, if you're away, you can feel the boos or the whistles. You can hear that pressure. And for him to get that goal, and I think, fantastic for Vinicius to let him take the penalty, to get that brace, I think fantastic for him because, it will not only give him that confidence to think, right, I can breathe, I've got my first goal, that's the, as you say, the sort of, I guess, the pressure off my back now. He can now move on and just think about playing football properly. I think that was probably a big thing in the back of his mind. I have to get that first goal. And perhaps it will work in, their favour as well with Vinicius. The pressure off him of maybe, they're both looking to try and help each other out, and it's sometimes the pressure does mount up a bit too much. And you saw yesterday, the first half was quite a disappointing performance. But yeah, at the end of the day, the most important thing is they got the win, and 3 points going into the international break. Hopefully, he can stay fit, avoid injury, go into Real Sociedad next weekend on the 14th, and get another win.